Bengal SIR showdown. TMC moves Supreme Court against SIR. Claims micro-observers deployed only in Bengal. Says elderly being harassed. "40-year-old Hindu man killed in Bangladesh in what is a second such incident in the last 24 hours in the country." Heavy gunfire reported near the presidential palace in Venezuela's Caracas after Maduro makes US court appearance. Maduro's son breaks down, says history will tell who traitors were. Starting off Prime 5 with some breaking news, and this is from the coal bound state of Tamil Nadu. Thalapathy Vijay's much anticipated movie Jan Nayagan has now run into censor trouble, and that is just days before its scheduled January 9th release. The censor board has told the Madras High Court that it will send the movie for review again. And this time, it will be reviewed by another panel, and then only it will be allowed to release. Remember this at a time when TVK chief Vijay will be contesting the polls in Tamil Nadu, and now his movie has run into a censor trouble. For more on this, my colleague Sam Daniels is now joining me live. Sam, earlier we were speaking about how it's going to be a big screen flash between TVK chief Vijay's movie Jan Nayagan and Prasakriti of the DMK. But now what we're learning is that his movie perhaps has bumped into a censor issue, a censor board issue right now.
That's right. Although the film has been scheduled for January 9th launch, the film is yet to get the CBFC's certification, and it's in this context the producer has gone to the Madras High Court alleging inordinate delay by the Central Film Certification Board, giving a clear timeline. The petition says it was on the 28th, on the 21st of December they had applied for certification, and on the 29th the film body had got back suggesting a few exclusions and modifications which were complied with, so that the film would be granted UA plus 16 plus certification. But now the Film Certification Board, the petitioner says, has said the film will be referred for another view by a fresh committee, what's being called as the revision committee, because they have received an undisclosed complaint from someone anonymous, and based on that they are taking this act. And the producer has taken strong objection, saying it's a cinematograph act that should guide the certification board, not any anonymous complaints, because the film has not been exhibited anywhere,
right,
and nobody knows what's the content of this film, and that's why they moved. Now the court has ordered the CBFC to file its response tomorrow. The CBFC has also told the court that a new committee would now be watching this film for review. This comes at a time when Vijay is all set for his political debut in Tamil Nadu. Also when the BJP at the centre is trying to bring TVK into its fold as part of the NDA in Tamil Nadu to take on the ruling DMK.
Right.
And there is criticism that there could be more than what meets eye. There could be a political pressure. But the BJP has certainly denied these allegations, saying that the CBFC is a professional body and they're doing as per the books, as they call it.
Right, Sam. Of course, we'll be tracking this very closely with you. But stay with us, Sam. We'll come back to you in our next story as well. All right, now this is the big screen face-off. The DMK's Parasakti is now all set to clash with Vijay's Jana Nayagan. The movie is set to release on January 10th. That's a day after Jana Nayagan's release date, but that is still not confirmed because we just told you the censor board has said no to TVK chief's Vijay's movie so far. Well, as of now, the stage is set for a box office Pongal face-off at the silver screens. That's only if the censor board gives a green signal to TVK chief Jana Nayagan. But take a look at our next report where we give you a lowdown of the big screen face-off between TVK chief Vijay's Jana Nayagan and DMK's Parasakti. Take a look.
the DMK's one big political missile.
Are you behind this?
Oh gee, we are not behind this. ஆனா இத பண்ணவன் யாரா இருந்தாலும் அவன் என் தம்பி.
The film Parasakti, set to release on January 10th.
ஹிந்திக்கோ ஹிந்திக்காரங்களுக்கோ இல்ல.
I need your orders. பொள்ளாச்சிலே அடிச்சு.
Gearing up for a mega Pongal release, the Red Giant backed film clashes with Vijay's farewell movie Jananayagan.
நான் சாதா மேன் தான் பேபி. ஆனா செய்யற சம்பவம்லாம் சூப்பரா இருக்கும்னு சொல்வாங்க.
A deliberately advanced release and a very clear cinematic message. A plot layered with multiple messages, themes, and a clear political backdrop. Right from the title itself, DMK picking on the title of the old classic by its patriarch Karunanidhi, who wrote Parasakti in 1952. DMK is out with its own 2026 version, with the same title 7 decades later. Fronting actor Karthigai Deepam, Tamil cinema and Thalapathy Vijay's heir, and even the message in the plot. The film is based on anti-Hindi imposition struggles in the 1960s.
अरे हिंदी में बोल मद्रासी.
मद्रासी दिल्ली आता मद्रासी हिंदी बोला हिंदीकारर मदुरै आता हिंदीकारर तमिल बोला.
Where Karthigai Deepam, a local revolutionary with the alias Che, takes on the central government.
எதுக்கு? கேடுவி போற ரசம் சொத்தீங்க வா.
A Pongal release with a deeply rooted ideological message, coming out a day after Vijay's big farewell spectacle. Parasakti has the makings of a true election-powering blockbuster.
தங்க இடம் நேரத்துக்கு சாப்பாடு போட்டுக்கு நல்ல துணி மணி கேக்குறப்பெல்லாம் காசு அதான் போராட்டம் பண்றது குண்டில கொழுப்பேறி போய் கிடக்கு.
Sriram Ganesh, NDTV, Bureau Report.
உங்க மக்களே உங்க மேல யுத்தம் நடத்துறாங்க. 1 கோடி பேருக்கு கேக்குற மாதிரி சுடுவோம். சத்தம் கேட்டு.
All right, staying on with all that's happening in Tamil Nadu now, the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, has issued a summon to actor, politician and TVK chief founder Vijay for questioning in the Karur stampede case. The stampede on September 27th during a rally of Tamilaga Vetri Kazagam chief Vijay claimed 41 lives and left over 60 injured. Vijay he is all set to appear in CBI headquarters in Delhi on January 12th. And this comes after the probe agency earlier questioned and recorded statements of top TVK functionaries as a part of its inquiry into the tragedy. The CBI took over the probe of the stampede on October 26th. Since taking over, the CBI has been examining permissions granted for the event, what were the lapses, the crowd management, the measures which were put in place, and the level of police deployment there at the rally, and also emergency response. Not just that, since the time the CBI has taken over the case, they have also been recording statements from TVK functionaries and officials. And well, for more on this, my colleague Sam is still here with us. Sam, it looks like trouble seems to be mounting for the TVK chief Vijay. First, that roadblock for his movie, which was slated for the release on Pongal, and now he's all set to appear here. He's been called for questioning by the CBI on January 12th.
You can call it a natural development or a coincidence or politically motivated, but so far Vijay's team has not commented. This one, summons by the CBI, comes with respect to the investigation into the terrible tragedy that killed 41 people at Vijay's rally in Karur earlier. The investigation is by the CBI, and earlier the CBI had summoned top leaders of TVK, including Busi Anand, the second in command, and Adav Arjun, the party's one of the general secretaries in charge of the campaign strategy. And now they have summoned Vijay on the 12th of January this month. And while at one level the CBI is well within its rights to summon Vijay because he was the main speaker, it was after he arrived the stampede happened and 41 people died. At that time, the police in Tamil Nadu had alleged that Vijay was terribly late by several hours, because of which there was an oversurging crowd. no drinking water, no food adequately, and that had led to the stampede, killing 41 people. Vijay had denied those allegations and called it a conspiracy by the ruling DMK, which the party has denied. And it was the Vijay's party which had gone to the court asking for guidelines, and in that context the court had directed constitution of a special investigative team, but later the Supreme Court had quashed it and ordered a CBI probe monitored by a retired judge from the Supreme Court. So we'll have to wait and watch, but many question the timing, because this comes at a time when the BJP is desperately trying to rope in actor Vijay's DVK to join NDA in Tamil Nadu to take on the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu. Already Vijay has made it very clear he will not ally with the BJP directly or indirectly, calling the Saffron Party as his ideological enemy. Is it a pressure tactic by the BJP at the centre, or is it a natural coincidence? That's something we'll have to wait and watch. But the BJP sources in Tamil Nadu deny that the BJP is behind that, saying that the CBI is a professional body. They're going by the books. So far, Vijay has not responded. Whether he will go there or seek more time, we'll have to wait and watch.
Right, and CBI all set to grill Vijay on January 12th. Thanks, Sam, for getting us the latest on this. All right, staying on with stories from Tamil Nadu. Now, the Madurai High Court has upheld a single judge's order directing the lighting of the Karthigai Deepam at the stone pillar atop Tamil Nadu's Thiruparankundram in the city, bringing closure to a long-standing and contentious issue. The court observed that the district administration ought to have treated the issue as an opportunity to perhaps bridge the gap between the communities through mediation. It further held that since the hill is a protected site, any activity carried out atop must strictly comply with the provisions of the Act. Clarifying that the lamp may be lit, the court noted that public access to the ceremony will be restricted and will be subject to consultation with the Archaeological Survey of India. The bench further goes on to say that apprehension of law and order was an imaginary ghost created by state authorities for the convenience to put one community against the other under suspicion. DMK government has said that it will appeal against the order in Supreme Court and continue to deny the existence of any ancient practice related to Deepam. Meanwhile, the BJP has launched a scathing attack on DMK government there in Tamil Nadu, calling them anti-Sanatan and alleging that their political bias has now been exposed. Let's now tell you more about the Deepam festival, Rao, and what this is all about. So, first up, it's a moon festival, which of course, it's a festival celebrated on the first full moon day of the Tamil month, Karthigai. Apart from that, devotees on that day, they light lamps there on the eve of the Deepam Utsav. Now, the Uchi Pillai temple is where the lamp has been lit. This ceremony has been taking place for 100+ years. And now, the High Court has allowed the lighting of the lamp at the stone pillar. Now, the pillar on which lamp is lit stands clear of dargah complex. The dargah complex includes grave of a Sufi saint. Apart from this, the court has now ruled that the pillar rather belongs to the temple after the HC allowed the lighting of lamp on the ancient stone pillar. Hence, these were some of the contours of the Deepam festival controversy, because the ruling which has come out today has emphasized that the pillar belongs to temple and that the Deepam can be lit atop the pillar. Let's also now take you through the big takeaways, the big statements of the verdict which came out today, the Deepam verdict, what the Madras High Court said. Now, earlier court verdict valid. Then, it goes on to say that the case has turned political right now. Apart from this, district administration should not act to fuel the conflict any further. And also, the court has also said that, like I mentioned, district administration should not act to fuel any kind of conflict. The Madras High Court has also said, do not fight for lighting of lamp. And the issue right now has been politicized unnecessarily. It also says that it is hard to believe that Deepam lighting will disrupt any kind of public peace because apprehension of public peace disturbance is perhaps imaginary. That's the big statement which the Madras High Court has given, that the disturbance which the other party had come out with is perhaps imaginary, and practice of lighting Deepam on hilltop for all devotees to see. They also go on to say that temple Devasthanam must light lamp at Deepathun. That's the day on which the deep is lit. And also it says that no public to accompany temple Devasthanam to light lamps. So these are some of the big statements and the verdicts which came out from the Madras High Court. Let's also now take you through the timeline of all these issues which we've been tracking here. Now, on December 3rd, the Madras High Court allowed devotees to light Deepam on the stone pillar. Then, the High Court said that 10 devotees are allowed with CISF protection to light the Deepam. Then on the same day, that's post 6 p.m., Tamil Nadu officials and devotees, they clashed there at the area, at the stone pillar there. And then after that, the devotees were not allowed to light Deepam on the stone pillar. Then on December 4th, day before yesterday, the Madras High Court dismissed DMK's plea to stop Deepam and also allow devotees, because that's what the DMK government does not want. The Madras High Court then goes on to say that you cannot restrict one faith to achieve communal harmony. After this, the Stalin government detained all devotees by further defying the Madras High Court order. The Tamil Nadu government has now moved Supreme Court seeking urgent hearing, which happened on December 4th. December 5th, then, the Supreme Court declined urgent hearing of Stalin government's plea against Deepam. Then then the DMK MPs, they've rather, on December 8th, the DMK MPs to seek HC judge impeachment, the High Court judge impeachment. On December 18th, then, the Madras High Court reserved the order on Karthigai Deepam appeal. On December 19th, the Madras High Court stayed the order to light Deepam in Dindigul district in Tamil Nadu. And on January 6th, today, the Madurai Bench has backed Deepam lighting, and Justice Swaminathan's order has been upheld. So this is the timeline of all the events which has happened in the last 30-odd days. Take a look at the reactions that have been coming in on this.
It is extremely unfortunate that the state government went in appeal against the Honorable Judge's order, clearly reflecting a bias against Hindu Dharam, against Sanatan Dharam, clearly reflecting an anti-Hindu mindset. They are trying to intimidate the judiciary by filing this impeachment motion and making all false allegations against Honorable Justice G.R. Swaminathan. Because of a judgment, they have called him anti-secular.
Mr. Goyal, in the Thiruparankundram matter, we say that DMK did all this to appease the Muslim community. Do you expect this to politically benefit you in Southern Tamil Nadu?
This is not a political issue for the Bharatiya Janata Party or for the NDA. This is a matter of upholding high constitutional principles. It is a matter of respect for different religions and the secular fabric of India, which respects all religions. It is a fight against the appeasement politics that the India Alliance, that the Congress, that the DMK have for years followed to divide Indian society, to divide the people of India on the basis of caste, creed, religion, language. This mindset of the DMK and the Congress of dividing society, this mindset of becoming anti-Hindu, to further their appeasement politics. This approach of the India Alliance of the Congress to attack constitutional authorities, whether it is the judge who gave an order, file an impeachment motion. If the election commission is carrying out its duties to have a clean and correct electoral roll, threaten them with action. When a media person asks an innocent question to Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he alleges you are an agent of the BJP. Even you are not left. You are an equally important constitutional power, upholder of the constitution. You uphold high standards that this nation is proud of. And therefore, whether the judiciary, whether other constitutional authorities or the press, all of you are victims of the high-handed behavior of the Congress Party and the India Alliance.
I welcome the judgment of Honorable Madras High Court Madurai Bench on the Thiruparankundram Deepathun. It has upheld the judgment given by Justice G.R. Swaminathan. It is a big blow to the ruling Dravida model DMK, which created a communal issue, a communal fight between Hindus and Muslims, which tried to create for the votes of the minorities. The minority appeasement politics done by the DMK, Dravida model DMK, as the High Court has exposed the ugly face of, the filthy face of the DMK and its allies.
How do you look at this division bench verdict?
நாங்கள் இந்த நீதிமன்ற தீர்ப்பை ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக மகிழ்ச்சியாக நாங்கள் ஏற்றுக்கிறோம். ஏற்கனவே சிங்கிள் ஜஸ்டிஸ் கொடுத்த அந்த உத்தரவை டிவிஷன் பெஞ்சில் இருக்கக்கூடிய இரு நபர் ஜஸ்டிஸ் வந்து அதை ஏற்றிருக்கிறாங்க. கார்த்திகை தீபமானது மலை உச்சியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த தீபத்தூண் அதில் வந்து ஏற்றணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. அதை கோவில் நிர்வாகம் செய்யணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ இந்த தீர்ப்பை நாங்கள் மதிக்கிறோம்.
He says, I'm happy, I accept and respect the division bench's order since they have ordered lighting of the Karthigai Deepam on the pillar on the hilltop. Single judge order had said the petitioner, you can walk through the hilltop and light, but in this case, no public or you will be allowed, only the temple ought to be doing this. Court, in a sense, upholding lighting of lamp on the hilltop pillar.
No, I just wanted to answer it in a proper way because the Tamil Nadu government intention not to restrict any lighting at the existing place or at the new place. They just they had a apprehension by creating a huge public and some political motivated persons and cause some disturbance in the particular area because on overnight it was created as a big issues, right? If we go into such aspect, the division bench has made it clear that Devasthanam allowed to lightning at the set place. It is one of the vindictive for government, Tamil Nadu government, I think. I feel like that.
Lastly, the court had some strong words saying that the apprehension of a law and order problem is an imaginary ghost itself.
I'm not feel in that way, like because though there was a 144 order, some political persons have went to the top of the hill and make some. We had seen come across so many social media comments, right? So it is not an imagination one. It might be the observation of the division bench judgment. Might be division bench may not look into the social.
You are the counsel for a petitioner. Is your client petitioner planning to challenge this?
Yes, of course. We are advised our client to challenge the exact observation and for even lightning at the new places also.
On that note, we slip into a very short break, but come right back. Lost Planet for you here on Prime 5.
From the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship. The line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV. Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation. NDTV Ignite at Davos, this January on the NDTV network.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am. We are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
Expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your automate. was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when Air sang himself for the longest Qawwali. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized.
I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, A.R. Rahman is unmatchable.
It connected me to some spirituality.
This is India for me. This is India. This India I grew up, and this India I'm seeing now. It will never change.
When you have somebody like an A.R. Rahman, legend, maestro, I don't know which word should we choose. It was just a treat.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime 5 with me, Raisha Sehgal. In yet another news, a political storm has erupted at Delhi's JNU after provocative anti-Prime Minister Modi slogans were allegedly raised on campus. The slogans were reportedly shouted during a protest at Sabarmati Hostel on January 5th, and that soon after the Supreme Court rejected bail pleas of Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, both of them who are accused in the 2020 Delhi riots conspiracy case. Reports now say that the demonstrations were organized by the Jawaharlal Nehru University Students' Union, with students linked to left-leaning organizations present at the gathering. They were the ones who gathered all these protests where anti-PM Modi slogans were raised. The controversy has now drawn sharp political reactions. Delhi Minister Majinder Singh Sirsa slammed the slogans, calling the abuse of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah a shameless act, and branding the demonstrators as Ugravadi. Meanwhile, the Congress has justified the slogans. Party leader Udit Raj said that the demonstrations there at the JNU campus reflects anger within JNU, calling the Supreme Court verdict unfortunate and alleging injustice against Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. Meanwhile, JNU Chief Security Officer has now sought FIR over anti-Modi and Shah slogans, saying that the chants were deliberate, provocative and a threat to campus order. Take a listen to the reactions that have been coming in on this.
इस तरह की मानसिकता देश के अंदर से समाप्त हो रहा है। आज देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी और गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी के नेतृत्व में आतंकवाद और उग्रवाद लगभग समाप्ति की ओर है, और इनके सपोले जो बैठे हैं उन सपोलों को भी समाप्त करने की अब समय आ गया है। कोई सपोला आतंकवाद उग्रवाद की भाषा अगर जो देशद्रोही भाव भाषा रखेगा उनको सबक सिखाया जाएगा।
और एक विरोध करने का तरीका है, एक पॉलिटिकल लैंग्वेज है, इसको लिटरल मतलब नहीं कहते हैं। और जेएनयू में काफ़ी इसका आक्रोश है। उनको हिंदू होने की वजह से, मुस्लिम होने की वजह से इस तरह से इनके साथ व्यवहार हो रहा है, तो अन्याय इनके साथ तो हुआ है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला भी बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट रहा है।
Right, from on this, my colleague Tejshri brings you this report from the very area, the very spot where anti-PM Modi slogans were raised. Take a look.
Well,
I'm just reporting outside Sabarmati Dhaba, and this was the very location where the controversial slogans were raised, and it was in between 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. where the controversial slogans were raised. Remember that they were protesting against the Supreme Court verdict that was given yesterday afternoon by the Supreme Court. It was in fact the bail plea that was filed by Sharjeel Umar and Umar Khalid, which was rejected, and it was the very place, as you can see in the visuals, NDTV exclusively only channel reporting from ground to show you the exclusive pictures so as to what must have happened and transpired here. Remember that not for the first time that this entire area was epicenter for such kind of controversial slogans and the protests that took place, but earlier also there have been instances where such kind of protests were held, and now this matter has also in fact taken a political color where BJP has been slamming in fact the student groups, not just that but in fact also the Congress party for sheltering them and taking their sides. Needs to be seen that what happens next as far as the entire investigation is concerned. This is Stage 3 for NDTV from inside the JNU campus.
And shifting our focus to Bangladesh now, which continues to remain on edge. A Hindu man working as a grocery store owner has allegedly been killed in Bangladesh in what is now being called a second such incident in the last 24 hours in the country. And the visuals on your screens right now are of the atrocities being conducted on Hindu minorities in Bangladesh. His name, Sarat Chakrabarti. He was reportedly attacked with sharp weapons in the Narsingdi district at around 10 p.m. on Monday. And Monday's killings mark the latest in a series of violent incidents against minorities in Bangladesh, especially Hindus, who constitute about 7% of the total population. Hours before he was killed, a 45-year-old factory owner was shot dead in the Jashore district. His name, Rana Pratap, who was also the acting editor of a newspaper. So basically, he was a Hindu journalist who was attacked in Bangladesh. He was shot in the head by a group of men who also then slit his throat. So in the last 24 hours, 2 Bangladeshi Hindus have been attacked and killed. Not just that, there have also been atrocities against Hindu women in Bangladesh. A 40-year-old Hindu widow was gang raped by 2 men. NDTV spoke to the local residents and found out that the lady had been harassed by the 2 accused for the last 2 years since the death of her husband. Take a look.
मैं समझता हूं कि ये सारे विश्व के लिए और जिन सिद्धांतों को हम प्रिय मानते हैं, लोकतंत्र, धार्मिक स्वतंत्रता, बोलने की आजादी, इन सब के लिए भी सबको एक चुनौती है। अभी जब दीपू की हत्या हुई थी तो आरोप था कि उसने इस्लाम की तौहीन की है। मैं प्रतीक्षा कर रहा हूं कि भारत के मुसलमान इस पर प्रतिक्रिया देंगे। मुस्लिम संगठन जो धार्मिक आजादी की बात करते हैं, धर्मों की बराबरी की बात भारत में करते हैं, वो बांग्लादेश के बारे में भी करेंगे। बांग्लादेश में जब भी चुनाव नजदीक आते हैं तब ये घटनाएं होती हैं।
18 दिन के अंदर 6 हिंदुओं की नृशंस हत्या कर दी गई। और जो इस्लामिक जिहादी जानवर हैं, किस तरह से जानवरों को भी शर्मसार करके इस तरह की अमानवीय कुकृत्य कर रहे हैं, वो बेहद गंभीर है। अभी देखिए कि किस तरह से कल भी एक व्यापारी की भी नृशंस हत्या कर दी। 40-50 वर्ष की अधेड़ उम्र की महिला जो कि विधवा थी, अपने घर में थी, जिहादियों ने घर में घुस करके न सिर्फ उसके साथ गैंगरेप किया बल्कि उसको जला के मार भी दिया। इस तरह की अनंत हत्याओं का सिलसिला लगातार जारी है।
All right, so 6 Hindus killed in the last 18 days in Bangladesh. We'll take you through all of that here right now. So, the first person who we're talking about here, his name, Sarat Chakrabarti, the latest Hindu to be attacked and killed in Bangladesh. He is a grocery shop owner, and that's his image there. He was attacked with sharp weapons. The second man who was attacked in the last 24 hours in Bangladesh, his name, Rana Pratap Bairagi, a Hindu journalist, shot 3 times in head and his throat was also slit. These two combine the latest Hindu minorities killed in Bangladesh. We also have Konkon Das, a Hindu pharmacy owner. He was attacked while returning home. He was assaulted by 3 to 4 attackers and then he succumbed to his injuries. He died from his injuries. Bajendra Biswas, a Hindu garment worker. He was shot while he was on duty, while he was at his factory working. He was shot dead. In the last 18 to 20 days, there have been at least 6 Hindus, Bangladeshi Hindus, who have been attacked and killed in Bangladesh. And shifting our focus to another big story that we're tracking very closely here on NDTV, it's the Trump's regime change operation. Let's now take you through the latest as to what is happening in Venezuela after the US President Donald Trump captured the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Now, as you can see on your screens, tense scenes in Caracas as heavy gunfire was reported near the presidential palace. Security forces opened fire after unidentified drones were spotted overhead. Officials say the situation is currently under control, but the dramatic footage shows a tense and heavily guarded capital. All right, then in an emotional address to Venezuela's National Assembly, Nicolas Maduro's son vowed to keep the homeland safe until his father's return, calling him and Celia Flores prisoners of war. He publicly backed the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, pledged family support and warned that Maduro's capture is not just a regional issue but a threat to global stability. The deposed Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, pleaded not guilty yesterday. That was during his procedural appearance at the New York court. He has pleaded not guilty to drugs, weapons and narco-terrorism charges 2 days after his capture by the US Special Forces. Maduro insisted to the federal judge that he was still the president of the country and he had been illegally captured and was a prisoner of war. As Maduro faces trial abroad, he is slated to appear in the court on March 17th. The power has shifted in Venezuela. Former Vice President Delcy Rodriguez has been sworn in as the interim president of Venezuela, taking the oath amid political turmoil following Maduro's removal from office. Images from outside the courthouse are drawing attention. The deposed leader was seen limping, that's yesterday, as he walked into court, dressed casually, surrounded by heavy security. And like I mentioned a few moments ago, he has pleaded not guilty to all the charges, the 4 drug trafficking charges in his first procedural appearance. All right, staying on with this story, now the Venezuelan president Maduro appeared in a New York court yesterday, brought in by helicopter to face serious US charges, including drug trafficking and narco-terrorism. Flanked by heavy security, Maduro pleaded not guilty, telling the judge, I'm quoting him here, I am innocent, a decent man, and the president of Venezuela. He claimed he was kidnapped from his home in Caracas, calling himself a prisoner of war. His wife has also pleaded not guilty to the charges. As Maduro fights the case in court, political ripples are being felt back home. In Caracas, his son addressed the National Assembly, vowing to continue the duties and calling Maduro's detention illegal as Venezuela braces for further fallout.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, he just got arraigned in the federal courthouse and the charges against him are of narco-terrorism and importing cocaine into the United States. What do you think and why are you here today and whose side are you on?
Well, we are here in opposition to U.S. imperialism's attack on Venezuela and their illegal kidnapping of President Nicolas Maduro and the First Lady, Celia Flores. We fully stand with President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, and we are calling for their immediate release.
None of these people out here would be okay with if someone came and took Trump and charged him with some outrageous charge. Nobody would be okay with that because the foreign government came and did it. I mean, we don't have sovereignty to our country, but somehow it's okay because Donald Trump did it.
We're waiting for this time for the last 25 years. The system is controlled by the government, by the dictator. So to get the power again, we need like someone stronger to take the control. And there's nobody there in Venezuela because all the opposition are controlled by the government.
All right, the fall of President Nicolas Maduro has thrust Venezuela's debt crisis, one of the world's largest unresolved sovereign defaults. And it has now come back into sharp global focus. After years of economic collapse and sweeping US sanctions that cut the country off from international capital markets, Venezuela defaulted in late 2017. The government then missed payments on overseas bonds issued both by the state and its oil giant PDVSA. Now, since then, unpaid interest, mounting penalties, and legal claims linked to past expropriations have dramatically inflated the bill. What began as missed bond payments has ballooned into massive external liabilities, far exceeding the original face value of Venezuela's debt. Further, leaving creditors waiting and the country financially isolated. Let's take a closer look at this now. Let's tell you more about the situation that Maduro is in at the country, the Maduros, and how Venezuela's debt crisis, where it stands at this point of time. Number one, Venezuela, it has perhaps been in default on much of its sovereign debt since the year 2017. Then, that's because the economy there in Venezuela, it relies heavily on oil exports. And the falling production slashed revenues, which was perhaps needed to repay the debt. So Venezuela has not perhaps been able to repay the debt. Sanctions were there on the country, which restricted refinancing and also debt restructuring. Now, billions of dollars owed to bondholders. Venezuela holds truckloads of money to bondholders like China and Russia. Now, the interest and the penalties have only been piling up in Venezuela right now. Not just that, the currency collapse has also eroded any kind of ability to service the debt. While the economic collapse has been going on in Venezuela, the political instability has also stalled negotiations with creditors in the country. So at this point of time where the country stands, any debt recovery only and only depends on a clear political transition in Venezuela. Let's tell you more. Now, the US President Donald Trump's renewed remarks about Greenland coming right after a dramatic US operation in Venezuela have now rattled Denmark and raised serious questions about NATO unity. Here's a closer look at why Greenland is back in the global spotlight and what it could mean for alliances that have held firm for decades. Take a look.
A fresh chill is sweeping through Europe these days, and it's not just the winter cold. Unease is growing in Denmark after US President Donald Trump once again floated the idea of an American takeover of Greenland, just a day after a dramatic US military operation in Venezuela. Denmark administers Greenland, a vast, mineral-rich Arctic territory that has become strategically critical amid growing global competition. Denmark's PM, Mette Frederiksen, has hit back firmly, saying the US has no right to annex Greenland, and reminded Washington that Denmark already grants extensive US military access under NATO security agreements. The question is, to what extent would NATO allies really support Denmark if this became more than words? Some countries may value good relations with Washington more than defending Denmark. Denmark is a founding member of NATO, and experts warn a US move against a fellow ally would shatter the bloc.
Well, in case of a US military invasion of Greenland, which I think is unlikely still, in that scenario though, the NATO alliance would, in reality, de facto cease to exist.
On the streets, Disbelief is turning into anger.
Jamen altså, jeg synes det er fuldstændig vanvittigt. Det er uforskammet faktisk.
The backdrop is crucial. Trump's comments follow the US operation that removed Nicolas Maduro, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio defending America's expanding role in the Western Hemisphere. From Caracas to Copenhagen, from Latin America to the Arctic, Trump's revival of old doctrines is sending shockwaves through allies and adversaries alike. Vishal Vivek for NDTV World.
News coming in for you. This is from Bangladesh right now, and Bangladesh radical leader's murder charge sheet has now been filed in the Usman Hadi killing. The charge sheet was filed in the Usman Hadi murder case. Remember, it was the murder of Usman Hadi that led to the massive demonstrations in Bangladesh. The charge sheet has been submitted in Dhaka court, and the Jubu League leader has been named as a main conspirator. Remember, earlier the police official said that the accused is still at large, but now what we're learning is that Jubu League leader has now been named as a main conspirator in the murder of Usman Hadi in Bangladesh. And remember, Jubu League is a youth wing of banned Awami League of Sheikh Hasina. The name of the main conspirator has also now been revealed. His name is Taizul Islam Chaudhry, who is from the Jubu League. He is perhaps the Jubu League leader who has now been named as the main conspirator in the murder of Usman Hadi. Apart from him, Faisal Karim has also been identified. From on this, my colleague Aditya Raj Kaul is now joining me live. Aditya, after days, perhaps weeks of probe and investigations, we have a big news coming in that the Jubu League leader, his name is Taizul Islam Chaudhry, is the main conspirator on Usman Hadi's murder.
Well, that's right. That's the latest we are picking up. In fact, the police in Bangladesh has filed a charge sheet in the killing of the youth leader Usman Hadi. Usman Hadi, of course, was the spokesperson of the Inqilab Mancho. There have been protests that have been led. In fact, today also, even as we speak, there's a justice march that's been underway in Shahbag in Dhaka of Bangladesh. What we are picking up right now is that Jubu League leader named as the main conspirator in this entire investigation. We have been told that Faisal Karim, who is identified as the shooter in Hadi murder case, has been in Dubai. But currently, in the Usman Hadi murder, the charge sheet has been filed, and the Jubu League leader named as the main conspirator. Jubu League is the youth wing of the banned Awami League. It is the youth wing of Sheikh Hasina's political party. And of course, Awami League Taizul Islam Chaudhry is named as the main conspirator. There are close to 16 to 70 people who are named in the FIR. At least 12 people have been arrested already, but some remain on the run. But this busts the complete claim that India was involved in certain way. It's an internal law and order problem where questions have been raised on Mohammed Yunus. So that's the latest we are picking up. The Bangladesh police filing a charge sheet and naming the accused in the Usman Hadi murder.
Absolutely, Aditya, and that's the news. Jubu League leader, the main conspirator in Usman Hadi's murder. But thanks for getting us latest on this. All right, on that note, we slip into a very short break, but come right back. Lost line for you here on NDTV 24/7.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of operations Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts. debates,
war-struck country,
hard questions,
in the Ukraine,
30 years of trust.
in the Kargil area, North Ukraine, in France, in Italy, at Srinagar, Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom, only on NDTV.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
From the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Rawat, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They're now India's smallest, but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship, the line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV. Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation. NDTV Ignite at Davos, this January on the NDTV network.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll.
Hello, good evening and NDTV. You are with your #1 destination for all the news updates here on the broadcast at this hour. Ladies and gentlemen, an action-packed lineup for you today as well. We'll first, in fact, speak about, what is it about JNU? There is always a right to protest, but these kind of slogans, once again, provocative slogans, what is happening? Why then this then derails the whole agenda that the student protest is all about? We'll speak about JNU does it again. We'll get you the details on that. And then later, it's now a googly being thrown by an NDA ally. Former MP of the JDU, KC Tyagi, has questioned the Bharatiya Janata Party and the BCCI over the Bangladesh cricket controversy with Mustafizur Rahman, who, after the attacks on the minorities, there has been so much said about this. Now, he has questioned the BJP and the BCCI. From within, there are voices coming in. So we'll get you those details as well.